Hello traders and welcome to our market update video. It's Till Naupan here, founder of Master Markets, Elite Trades Conference and the Traders Open Day. Now, here we are on the market update today. So I'm just going to follow the usual plan that we usually do. The first thing first is we cover the topic for today. And the topic is going to be on following your plan. Okay, right. Now, on this, I want to cover 3 points over here. The first point is that first of all, if you want to follow your plan, of course, you must have a plan, right? And the plan must consist of first, the parameters for the plan would be it must have a true edge, right? An edge is a recurring principle in the market that will keep recurring again and again. We've talked a lot about this in our previous videos. You can watch it on our blog, on our website, and all that. Now, the next thing is that the edge must be backed up by power parameters, all right? Now the parameters must be backed up by statistics, which I'm going to show you later on in the video. Now the final thing then, it needs to be backed up with a mathematical edge where the reward, the actual reward to risk must be at least more than 1 to 1. Now the second thing is once you've got your plan, which is backed up by these 3 parameters, then once you start to get to trade, do not get distracted by other factors. The other factors in real time would be things like news. You see, if you didn't factor in news into your power parameters, if you don't have stats for it, and if it doesn't affect the data that you've got, then there's no reason why you should be looking at that. Higher time frames, this is something that even we as professionals get carried away looking at as well, to outbeat the system that we have designed, okay? Because it's just a human mentality. Once you design something, you always want to outbeat it, don't you? But I would highly discourage from doing that because I'm telling you that from experience. Because sometimes, let me just give you some example over here. You see, for example, yesterday when we were looking at the dollar yen over here, you can see this setup over here where we are looking at a swing profit setup, and this is reversing very heavily, right? Very strong buyer bar, isn't it? But of course, we have a shorting signal at that buyer bar over there, very strong buyer bar there yesterday. And however, if you look at the weekly, it will tell you another picture altogether. So if you take a look at this one here, it's telling you that if you take a look at the top to bottom over here, you can tell you that there's a few failures here, isn't it? And then there is a bit of an up strength over here that's starting to turn. So you might sometimes discourage yourself of what you have planned yourself in the first rule of your plan. So all I'm saying over here is that do not talk yourself out of it if your data already proves otherwise, okay? Right, so don't look at higher time frames or whatsoever if you have not put it into your plan in the first place. Then the third thing is that um, don't start looking into, let's say, what are the common ones that we usually do. We look at news, we look at higher time frames, then we start to talk ourselves out in terms of looking at even the daily as well, even the time frame that you are trading on what can be going against it. So yeah, so remember that one of the main things that makes your plan really work is also consistency. So once you start to change all of those parameters, then the edge will stop to work. Okay, the consistency is very, very important. Now, the third thing in following your plan, I would say, is that because we're humans, sometimes it would be encouraged to use a little bit of 2% of discretion in your trade management. Okay, 2% of discretion in your trade management. Now, what are we talking about here? When you're using your discretion, what I'm saying is that focus on your account risk first. Okay, your account risk is what we are looking at. Protect always the downside. Now, in terms of this, if I were to go a bit more specific on this, what am I saying? For example, if let's say you're taking a long trade over here and you have decided to take a long based on this close, and the next day you have a big bar shooting all the way up. Now you see, and your stop loss is all the way here. Now, of course, logically in your mind, you'll be thinking, hey man, I don't want to leave all that risk on the table, right? So the least you can do is on an intraday basis, put some rules in for that as well if you may. But once you've traveled an X distance from your entry, definitely do start to break even. Now that's the first thing you should do. The upside, uh, let it go and leave it to take care of itself. But the first thing you should do always, I will always highly encourage anyone, is to break even first. Then your mind is calm, the downside is protected, and some trades will go on to hit their profit. Okay, the last thing you want is a very highly profitable unrealized trade like that coming and hitting your stop loss, your trailing stop loss, and to get to a loss. Okay, now yet again, some of you may say, I'm not very sure about that, Tiru, because the ones that maybe hit my trailing stop loss, like then might then reverse and then go towards target, and they might change the stats. Yes, it's all valid arguments, okay? And then how do you actually reconcile the mind against that? To tell the mind, hey mind, you know what? No, it's all right to break even. It's fine. Most of the ones that retrace anyway, they're not going to go towards target. How do you calm the mind down so that the other voice doesn't come? So again, stats will definitely help. Now let me show you something over here that we have done. Let me just erase the drawings from here. So what we then recently did to numb the other voice in the mind in real time, we did a TSL analysis or trailing stop loss analysis efficiency. Okay. Now the first thing to any data to get it right, you have to get your questions very clear and very succinct. Now the first question over here was that how many of our trailing stop loss that you have designed, okay? How many of your trailing stop loss, how many of the trades that give a trailing stop loss opportunity actually hit your trailing stop loss and go on to profit, okay? Go to profit. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, let me explain. Now, what do I actually mean by this is that, for example, all I'm saying is something like that. So you've entered here on the close, let's say, right? Now you're highly in profit, you've trailed your stop loss to break even. All I'm asking in this question is that how many, and let's say your target is all the way here. All I'm saying is how many of them go on to hit your trailing stop loss and then go on to profit. Now, if a lot of them start doing that, then your TSL is inefficient, is it not? Because a lot of them getting hit and they're going on a profit. It's either too aggressive or or too conservative. Okay, so that's what we are actually measuring here on the TSL efficiency. How efficient is it? How inefficient is it? So the first thing first, whenever we place a trade, one of the biggest fears that come to us is that, oh no, how many of them are going to hit my initial stop loss and get a 1% hit, right? It's quite painful, ouch. So what we then did, according to this strategy over here, which is the OE runners, open equity runners, we went to go and analyze that trading stop loss efficiency. Now, when we did that, we found out that 24% of them hit our initial stop loss. Okay, this is over a 6.5-year period, over 107 trades. So, okay, that's good. 20% of them hit our initial stop loss, 1% out. Now, then the other ones, in terms of our trailing stop loss, there's still about 76% of them, isn't it not? Now, out of that, we segregated them, right? How about them? How many of them were really inefficient? That means the ones that hit our trailing stop loss and went to profit. There's only 10 of them, traders. There's only 17% of them only, right? 17% of them hit my trailing stop loss and went on to profit. It's okay. I can stay with that. I mean, the good thing is in real time, at least my mind is calm so that I can capture the rest, isn't it? Look at the efficient trades. The efficient trades were 82%. 82%, right? The ones that hit our stop loss and then go on to hit where the initial stop loss is, so it protected me from the downside, reduced my loss. And the other ones is that hit the trailing stop loss and broke even and went further down. So these are really good ones over here. And the other ones are basically here. So hit the trailing stop loss and went to confirm as well, right? So overall, there's 82% of them. The ones that were efficient, they were efficient trailing stop losses. That means protected you from your downside, but still lost rather than getting a 1% hit, is 18.97% of them. So my take-home message for you guys is that please do a TSL efficiency analysis of your parameters that you put in. This is the only way, traders, that you can actually have conviction in what you're trading in real time, and you can scale it and you can reproduce it as well. Of course, if you do need any help on this at all, of course, do get in contact with us. Right, I guess that's pretty much that on the topic for today. I'm just going to take a look at all the markets for today, on all the 9 markets that we look at. A dollar Swiss over here, what do we have? So we have a downtrend at the moment. It's all pretty much easy because all the highs are all quantified. It's so much more easier to see the trend. Is it going to continue? Is this going to confirm or not? Is the arrow going to pop out? Of course, we do not know the answer for that, but definitely you can do to protect your account and manage your risk, as I've said just now, according to your parameters. Right. So strong downtrend here. The level that I'll be looking at, you see, this is a reversal bar, but it's taken out this low. The one thing I'll be looking at for today is whether this closes above this low or above the low. Okay, so that's the first thing I'll be looking at for strength in the downward move or the upward move. Now the next thing is dollar yen. Dollar yen has just broken that level. 10819 is what we are seeing at the moment. We were analyzing this as well. This is the one that we took short as well on a close over here and a stop loss over there. So going well in our favor at the moment. You can see that it's taken out the low as well, come back to the low after this big buyer strength over there. However, on the 1 hour, if you drill in, you can start to see that it has stuck around this whole area, right? If you observe, right, the 10820 level for quite a bit, and now it's just broken out of it. So let's see how that performs. Next level to see is this level here at 10782, because all of our lows and highs are quantified, so it's a bit more easier for us to track at these levels. Okay, right, so that's to do with that. Cable, on the other hand, what are we seeing? We're seeing a downtrend over here, just taking out the last low. Let's see if this low gets confirmed. Definitely one thing we need to look at is if this high, if it closes above this high or not today. That will be giving you more strength towards the upside. Euro dollar, on the other hand, this is a reversal secondary setup. We did take a short on this as well because there's not much strength on the upside to confirm. If it does stay close below this low, there's good strength towards the downside. Next, Bitcoin, what we're seeing, 11,000 is still remaining above the 11,000 level. Trend is up. So let's see if next level to really see if it's really going above is back into this level. Second level is this one here. So we'll see how that turns out to be. FTSE, 7,500 level, a new record high I can see. Let's see if it's an insider bar today, it takes out this level or not. And whether it fills this gap is what I'll be looking at before we start to take looking longs, okay? Right, oil on the other hand is back on the up again. $60 a barrel is what we're looking at. It's on the upside as well, just taken out this high. Let's see if it maintains that. Most important thing to look at is whether it's going to close below that low or going to go above that high. Right, gold on the other hand, up as well, a bit of consolidation here. So a bit vary on that. But the high has been confirmed, as you can see over here with the arrow pointing out. The bar was here. So yeah, so let's see. It's a bit unknown territory here. Of course, the first level what we're looking at to take out is this level here, right? So on the downside, if it does take back this level where it got strength, then we'll be out of that. Now the next thing is Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, on the other hand, you can see on the upside. Of course, the main thing I'll be looking at is for this high, for this close to remain above that high, okay? So we'll be taking a look at that as well. Now, Euro Yen, again, you can see this pattern here, right? A really strong buyer bar and an immediate reversal, all right? So, of course, the first level we'll be looking at is whether this level will be taken out or not of that big buyer bar. And if it does do that, then it's more strength towards the downside. Right, so that's what we got. And this Dow Jones, what we have at the moment, more bigger strength over here. Most important thing to see is if it remains above this level and whether it comes back to this level here, which we're tracking at 26,682, to take any further short positions. Okay, so that's good. So that's on our market outlook. Now, in terms of our performance, let's take a look at our performance for this week. So right, the performance on the Elite Room this week, we only had one trade so far. That was on Euro Yen over here. And on Euro Yen, we had a loss on that, so there was a minus 1% on that one there. So there we go. So on the elite room, we had a minus 1%, right? Now, in terms of the live trading room, we had a really good run on the money bar system over here for this week. We had a 3.33%, right? Really, really good whooping profit over there. 3.33% on the money bar system. But however, on the gold bar system, on the PO, gold bar pending order system, we had a minus 0.92 over there. Okay, so when we total up everything, let's take a look over here. So when we total up everything, 3.33 minus 1 on the gold bar system over here. And then finally, what do we have? We got a minus 0.92 on the GBPO system. So on the elite room, minus 1%. On the live trading room, we got 3.33, a minus 0.92, which is about 2.41% on the live trading room. Okay, so we take away that from the elite room, minus 1%, we got 1.41% overall. That's our total. Now that on a 100K account, a 100,000 account, that will be 1,410 pounds. Okay, now it's interesting enough. I mean, 1.41%. I mean, this is the kind of rates that you're even getting. You're not even getting that even in the banks for one whole year. So you're doing that in a week. It's pretty much very commendable. And of course, all we're looking for here is very stable, sustainable strategies that can be scaled and reproduced and be traded with conviction. That's what we're here all for, professional, institutional type of trading. All right, I guess that's pretty much that from me on this video here. We'll continue to track the markets, and you guys do the same as well. And have a great weekend, guys. I guess you all have earned it for you. Those of you who are looking at the markets consistently and putting your efforts and working on this with consistent performance. And as we always say, till next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.